Primal Groudon is coming back to raids in Pokemon GO on March 23rd for a 3-hour raid day event between 2 to 5 p.m. local time. If you need Mega Energy or a good shiny, this is definitely the time to go out and hunt it because it will have those boosted shiny odds of 1 in 10. Okay, I'm going to quickly go over the event details and then we can get to the tips for defeating Primal Groudon. So for this event, we are going to get the standard raid day bonuses, which include 5 additional daily raid passes from spinning photo discs at gyms, an increased shiny rate for Groudon, again that 1 in 10 rate, and Groudon will be appearing more frequently in raids, meaning every gym will have Groudon raids, and then the remote raid limit will also be increased to 20 from Friday, March 22nd at 5 p.m. to Saturday, March 23rd at 8 p.m. Pacific time. There will also be the standard $5 USD event ticket that will get you some more bonuses if you purchase it, and those bonuses will be active from 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the event day, and with that you will get 8 additional raid passes from spinning photo discs in gyms, an increased chance to get Rare Candy XL, as well as 50% more XP and 2 times Stardust from defeating raid battles. And so the question is then, is Primal Groudon worth that $5 raid day ticket? And of course, if you really like it or you really want the shiny, then it might be worth it to you. But in terms of meta relevancy, let's take a look. Primal Groudon has the base stats of 353 for attack, 268 for defense, 218 for stamina, and a max CP of 6,672. So those are the exact same base stats as Primal Kyogre has. Now as a raid attacker, it is the #1 ground type raid attacker, which is a useful type for raiding in Pokemon Go. However, to take that #1 spot, Primal Groudon does need its signature move Precipice Blaze, which it will not have from this event, so you will need an Elite Charge TM to get that on it. The next best ground type charge move is Earthquake. However, it loses 3 points to its damage per second output, which is a pretty big drop, so it is probably worth an Elite Charge TM to get Precipice Blades on at least your best one. Now in terms of PvP, regular Groudon ranks #7 in the Master League, but again, you do want that signature move Precipice Blades, as well as the other legacy move Fire Punch for it to perform best, so that could mean 2 Elite Charge TMs if you're using one caught from these recent raids. And while you're out there doing all these Primal Groudon raids, you are going to want to watch out for those Hundo CPs. So in non-boosted weather, you're going to want to watch out for 2351, and then in boosted weather, you're going to want to watch out for 2939. Those numbers might look familiar because yes, they are exactly the same as Primal Kyogre's because they share the same base stats. The only difference here is that Primal Groudon's boosted weather is sunny weather instead of the rainy weather for Primal Kyogre. Okay, let's move on to the top counters now because you will want to take Primal Groudon down as quickly as possible to get the most amount of primal energy. Now because Primal Groudon takes on that fire typing in its primal form, it is ground fire typing, which means it takes 256% damage from water attacks, and ironically, again, because it takes on that fire typing, it actually takes 160% damage from ground type attacks. So that means some of your top counters are going to be Primal, Shadow, or regular Kyogre. Hopefully you got a good one from last weekend's raid day. And then there is also Mega or Shadow Swampert, Mega, Shadow, or regular Gyarados, Mega Blastoise, Shadow Feraligatr, and Shadow Empoleon. Now if you still need a few more options to fill out your roster other than those, there are a few budget options you can go with, and they include Greninja, Golisopod, Kingler, Feraligatr, and Mega Slowbro. And if you still need more after that, just go with your highest CP Pokemon that have water or ground type moves and are preferably water or ground type themselves, so you get that same type attack bonus. And keep in mind that water does 256% damage versus ground's 160% damage, so definitely go with your best water types first, and then if you're still filling out the roster, then throw in your best ground types. And it is a primal raid, so again, it will be harder than those Hisuian starters we had over the past few months. However, it should be easier than Primal Kyogre because of that dual typing and taking that 256% damage from water. Also keep in mind that some of the Primal Groudon you encounter are likely to have Solar Beam, which is a grass type move, meaning that your water types and your ground types are going to take super effective damage from that Solar Beam move. And unfortunately, unlike Primal Kyogre, who had those alternate electric types that did not take super effective damage from its Blizzard, there are no real top counters for Primal Groudon that don't take super effective damage. Now that being said, There are a few options you can have in your back pocket that do have some water type moves, although they are not water types, in case you need to throw in something a little bit different to get the raid done. So other than Rayquaza, you could go with something like Mega or Shadow Salamence, or Shadow or regular Lugia. Both of these Pokemon can have the charged move Hydro Pump, and they can both hit pretty hard, so they might be some good backup options to have in your roster in case you come up against one of those Solar Beam Primal Groudons. Just keep in mind that you're not going to want to TM away any legacy moves if you have them on those Pokemon for Hydro Pump, so you'll either have to add a second charged attack or power up a different one to use other than the one that has the legacy move. All right, now let's talk about some tips, starting with who to Mega Evolve. And if you've watched my videos before, you know I say there are always two ways to think about this. You can go with a Mega Evolution that is a top counter, or you can go with a Mega Evolution that will get you more candies. Now in this case, unlike Primal Kyogre, there is some overlap here, and that is because Primal Groudon is weak to ground, and it is also a ground type, so there are some good Megas to use that will do super effective damage and will also get you more candies. Now Mega Swampert is by far the best because it is both a water and ground typing, so in its Mega form, it will both be able to hit really hard with those water type moves and boost your candy gains because it is also a ground type. Another option, of course, is Primal Groudon itself. It is an okay counter to Primal Groudon with Precipice Blades, and it will also boost your candy gains. There's also Mega Garchomp, which is, again, a decent counter and will boost your candy gains. And then finally, there is Mega Steelix. It's not at all a good counter, like at all, but it will boost your candy gains. All right, I've got a couple other tips for you here. The first one is to use Party Play if you are raiding with friends. If you don't know, you get a Party Power bonus when you are doing raids in Party Play. This gets you double charged attack damage when it is powered up. And the more people you have in your party, the quicker it powers up, and the more people you have doing that double charged attack damage. So definitely don't sleep on this one if you are raiding with friends. If you don't have any friends to raid with, consider looking for a local raid group. You can go to places like Discord, Facebook, and Reddit. Search your local town name plus Pokemon Go, and you can usually find a raid group there to hook up with. And another tip, you can also stack your daily raid passes. So if you don't know, you can take one daily raid pass from one day over to the next day. Now you can only hold one daily raid pass at a time, so you can only take one. But now with the season bonus of getting 2 daily raid passes per day, you can take one over from the previous day, then you get your 2 normal daily raid passes, and then you get your 5 bonus ones from the event bonus. So that gives you a total of 8 daily raids you can do for free during this raid day. And keep in mind that Shadow Groudon is coming at the end of the month, so you might want to make use of all those 8 daily raids so that you can get as much candy and Candy XL to power up both your Primal Groudon and your Shadow Groudon. All right, everybody, if you found this video useful, consider hitting the like button and subscribing for more Pokemon Go news, tips, and live streams. If you want more Pokemon Go content right now, check out one of the videos on screen. Happy hunting. I hope you get that Shundo Groudon, and we'll see you in the next one, friends.
I've got something incredibly funky.